Hello dear student friends. In this video lecture I am going to discuss about the continued part of the production of low pressure. In the last video lecture I have already discussed about the exhaust pump and its characteristic and also expression for the speed of the pump. And today I am going to discuss about the diffusion pump. And this diffusion pump originally devised by Gade in the year 1915, and this speed of the pump has with some modification proved to be very best among the mechanical pumps. In the 19th century, the mechanical pump has only produced 0.25 mm mercury of the low pressure, but this modified speed pump means this diffusion pump can produce the lowest, that is 10 to the power of less than the 10 to the power of minus 5 mm mercury. So it is best among the mechanical pump, and it has almost completely replaced the all rest of the mechanical pump, and it cannot operate directly from the atmospheric pressure but requires a 4 vacuum ranging from 20 mm mercury to the 10 to the power of minus 2 mm mercury. In the vessel we need to create a 4 vacuum, that is ranging from 20 mm mercury to the 10 to the power of minus 2 mm mercury. Then only this diffusion pump can operate. Okay. And the principle of diffusion pump it is based on the principle that in the mixture of gases the diffusion of gas takes place from the region where its partial pressure is high to the region where it is lower, irrespective of the total pressure in the two regions. The mixture of gases, the diffusion of gas takes place from the region where its partial pressure is high to the where the its partial pressure is low, irrespective of the total pressure in the two regions. Okay, this is the principle of the diffusion pump. And next one is a Gade's model of the diffusion pump. The vessel F to be exhausted is connected up to a wide tube AB through a narrow connecting tube CD having a cylindrical slit D. The necessary 4 vacuum is created by the means of rotary oil pump connected to the side tube T, and steam of the easily condensable vapor is passed through this wide tube AB in the upward direction, and the partial pressure of the gas being greater at the end C. Here the partial pressure is high compared to the at the end D. Here the partial pressure is low, and the diffusion of gas occurs from C to AB where it is swept away by the vapor stream. Again, therefore the partial pressure of the gas is less at D than C, so that more of the gas diffuses into AB and carried away by the vapor stream. This goes on long. The partial pressure of the gas remains greater at the C than the D, with the result the pressure in the vessel F goes on, the pressure in the vessel goes on falling progressively. Since the partial pressure of the vapor is high in the tube, and in this tube AB, the vapor pressure is higher than the tube CD. It tends to diffuse along DC, driving the gas diffuses from C into AB in the backwards. This back diffusion of the vapor and gas not only reduce the speed of the pump but sets a limit to attainable vacuum in the vessel F. And this vapor pressure, this vapor which has a high pressure compared to the in this CD. So what is going to happen? The back diffusion is takes place. Means this vapor is tries to go into the vessel F and the speed of the pump is reduced and it sets to the limit to the attainable vacuum in the vessel F. Therefore, to prevent, how we have to prevent this one? And it is to be means to prevent the diffusion of the back pump, making the aperture at the C very narrow. Here at this point we have to, at this point the aperture is very narrow, about 0.1 mm of the width, and cooling the tube CD by circulating the water around it so as to condense the vapor. If the vapor is going along the DC, due to the cooling effect it liquefies and this liquid then transferred to the boiler. And Gade showed theoretically and later confirmed experimentally that speed of the pump is maximum when the width of the aperture at C is same order of the magnitude of the mean free path of the molecule in the back streaming vapor. Okay, if at the end C the width of the aperture is same as the order of the mean free path of the molecule. I hope we have already discussed about the mean free path in the kinetic theory of the gases. Means the distance traveled by the molecule after the, it is the average distance traveled by the molecule after the collision. Okay, if the aperture size is same as the mean free path of the molecule, then the speed of the pump is maximum. Since the diffusion as well as condensation plays their part in the working of the pump, and here in this pump there is a diffusion also takes place and also condensation also takes place, and both play their part in the working of the pump. Such a pump also referred as to be diffusion condensation pump or even condensation pump. Mercury diffusion condensation pump. A simple and a common form of the pump was designed by the Warren in the year 1923 as shown in the figure. The construction of the mercury diffusion condensation pump. Here it is consist of a conical Pyrex. This one is a conical Pyrex glass flask A containing a mercury. The flask is to be connected to the bent tube B, whose other end is in the form of the narrow nozzle. Here this one is a narrow nozzle C, which opens in the wider tube M. This one is a wider tube M. The tube M is provided with the inlet I. The tube M is provided with the inlet I and an outlet O. The flask A and the tube D, which contains the mercury, D which contains the mercury, to prevent the flow of the mercury vapor through it. If the mercury vapor is passing in this way, that will be prevents here. The tube B is covered with the asbestos to prevent the condensation of the mercury vapor in it. There is a around this there is a asbestos to prevent the condensation of the mercury. The tube M is surrounded by the cold water jacket to condense the mercury vapor before it reaches the lower end of the M, means this large tube. The inlet I is connected to the vessel to be evacuated. This inlet I is connected to the vessel to be evacuated, and the outlet O to the rotatory oil pump. Because why we have connecting this rotary oil pump? To reduce the pressure in the vessel. Okay, before going to making this mercury diffusion condensation pump process. Next one is a working of mercury diffusion condensation pump. The pressure of the vessel to be evacuated must be reduced to the about 10 to the power of -3 mm, and in the vessel we have to maintain the pressure, that is 10 to the power of, as I have said, that is 20 mm to 10 to the power of -2 mm. Here we are going to reduce the 10 to the power of -3 mm mercury of the pressure with the help of rotary oil pump. Before heating the mercury, here we are heating the mercury, and the mercury A is heating gradually until it vaporizes, and this mercury vapor rises up along the tube AB and comes out of the nozzle C in the form of fine spray. At the point C, the pressure is lowered and the air from the vessel to be exhausted diffuses into M. Into M, the vapor carries the air molecules down along the M. Due to the condensation of the mercury, the air molecule is pushed down and exhausted by the rotary oil pump. The condensed mercury vapor enters A through tube D. The process continues, and it can produce the pressure as low as the 10 to the power of -5 mm mercury to the 10 to the power of -6 mm of the mercury. And this is all about the construction and working of the mercury diffusion condensation pump. Okay, thank you.